brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Breedeman and we've got a great show for you today. We extend a warm hello to all who are listening on WNDZ 750 AM here in Chicago and all who are watching our live stream on YouTube and Facebook at Catholic Chicago, which is the account for the Archdiocese of Chicago. Catholic Charities Junior Board has had a very busy fall, holding a Mass and a reception at 721 North LaSalle Street and planning a wide range of exciting initiatives for 2023. This dynamic group of young professionals continues to inspire everyone at Catholic Charities with their energy, enthusiasm, and ability to connect with young executives across the city and the suburbs, planning fabulous events together while making a positive, significant impact on the mission of Catholic Charities at the same time. Two of the group's talented leaders have now become co-presidents of Catholic Charities Junior Board. Brady Dearlove and Mary Margaret Parker are with us today, and we're delighted to have an opportunity to get an update from them on all that's happening with this vibrant, motivated group. Welcome, Brady and Mary Margaret.
Good morning, Katie. Thank you so much for having us.
Good morning, and we're so delighted to have you with us today and just get an update on all that's happening with the Junior Board. Mary Margaret, can we start with you? Can you please share with our audience a little bit about the history of Catholic Charities Junior Board?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So the Catholic Charities Junior Board actually launched in 2002. So fun fact, it's the 20th anniversary board. And it was originally created as an adjunct to the board of directors to enable succeeding generations to take part in the mission of Catholic Charities and become leaders through effective community action, including volunteer service, social fundraising, and theological exploration. So we have tons of cool opportunities through that. And then it provides young Chicagoans just with the opportunity to fulfill their personal call to service that's informed by the church teaching, but also importantly, it represents an opportunity for young people to connect with their peers through their own social and service activities, all while supporting a meaningful cause.
And so can I ask each of you to share a little bit about how you each first heard about the Junior Board and when and how did you get involved? Brady, can I start with you?
Of course, and it's complicated in the best way. It's a long explanation of relationship, which I know that we don't have time for. So I'll abbreviate. My family has been involved with the House Good Shepherd for 60 plus years. And that was entrusted to Catholic Charities in 2015. And at that time, Catholic Charities had absorbed House Good Shepherd. I was actually a part of the commercial lending team for Catholic Charities at ME Financial. So through both the personal and professional sense, I knew needed to join this impactful group. And I couldn't be more grateful for all the opportunities and relationships it's led me to.
Oh, that's wonderful, Brady. How about you, Mary Margaret? When did you first hear about the Junior Board and decide to join yourself?
Yes, so I was actually first introduced to Catholic Charities in general through my parents and grandparents. They were involved in their local chapter, and witnessing their example was super powerful to me. But in terms of the Junior Board, I've been involved since 2013. A friend invited me to attend a general meeting, and the rest is history.
That's so very special that both of you, thank you very much to both of you and your families for your generations of service to the mission of Catholic Charities. That's really quite inspiring that both of you are on the junior board because your family's longtime commitment to serving people in need. That's really quite inspiring. Can I ask you to both to share a little bit about what committees you've served on in recent years that have led you to become co-presidents this year? Again, Brady, may I start with you?
Of course, I was the social chair for, I think it was 3 years on the junior board previously. And it was quite fitting because I am a big talker, which is a blessing and a curse, but I love to unite with people and bring people together. So we had events on a monthly basis, and we were able to bring in former, existing, and prospective members to these fun social events.
Wonderful. And yeah, I know you have a wide array of events that really capture the great seasons in Chicago, the weather, but also a combination of service and fun, which we'll get into a little bit more later. How about you, Mary Margaret? What committees have you served on in recent years before becoming co-president now?
A few years ago, I served as co-chair of the volunteer committee with Natalie Montana, and I always enjoyed the volunteer opportunities. Those were some of the most rewarding to me. And then after that, most recently, Marty Grego and I were co-chairs of the Read to Me program at Madonna House, and I also served as vice chair of the junior board.
That's what I've been always so impressed about the junior board is that, like I said, you get together, you have a great time, you have wonderful service projects, but you're also very intelligent young adults that want to learn more about our programs and services and don't hold back at all in terms of wanting to actually get in there, attend events, even go to our service sites and see how Catholic Charities helps people in need. It's just a real credit to both of you because I'm sure you are very busy, have very busy lives outside of your work at Catholic Charities, and I just commend you both for making sure this is a priority in your life too. Brady, I know there's a number of young professional groups in Chicago, and they're all doing great things for different nonprofits. Can I ask what you think is unique and special about the Catholic Charities Junior Board?
Certainly. And of course, we have our biases, but just being a part of other areas as well and other programs, I've really gotten to see the benefit of Catholic Charities because it's a great and vibrant part of the Catholic Church in Chicago. You get to be a part of this 105-year-old tradition of people joining together to help our neighbors that are going through hard times. And you also get to be with like-minded people who are learning together and the impact that Catholic Charities makes in Cook and Lake counties. We have more than 50 programs and services in more than 150 locations across Cook and Lake counties, which is serving more than 1 million people a year. So that is incredibly fulfilling. And you get to see the difference you're making in people's lives when you hear how they become self-sufficient again after receiving the help that they need. So again, a really tangible and fulfilling opportunity where you're meeting like-minded and passionate people.
The impact really is extraordinary, isn't it? The more you learn about Catholic Charities, the more you see, how important the impact is across Cook and Lake counties. Okay, so now that you're both co-presidents, can you share with me a little bit about your goals for your first year in office? Mary Margaret, may I start with you?
Absolutely. During this exciting time, a key priority involves our members, actually. So these past few years have involved a lot of change between the COVID pandemic, the reorganization of Catholic Charities, and the current economic conditions. So with these factors, new challenges and opportunities emerged, and it requires a few shifts in how we best operate and serve those in need. So we've always been blessed with an absolutely dynamic, exceptional group of members and volunteers. So we're focused on staying true to our roots, re-engaging our existing network and building off of it to expand with new members, but then also with the opportunities that arrive. So we just make sure we're best serving the needs of our community as that changes as well.
Beautifully said, Mary Margaret. How about you, Brady? Anything to add to that in terms of first goals as co-presidents?
Yes. In addition to getting our members activated and reactivated, we can't wait for our efforts to begin supporting our new partnership, the Junior Board's partnership with Diaper Depot. We have been so fortunate to meet the incredible people behind Diaper Depot through Catholic Charities. and we can't wait to serve their purpose. Because through meeting them, we discovered the need for diapers in the Chicagoland area. Honestly, I didn't know what the need was until talking to the team and gained an understanding that the diaper need is a lack of sufficient amount of diapers to keep a baby clean, dry, and healthy. And this is a need in many of our towns, and some affecting 1 of 3 working families before COVID-19. So imagine the need now. Diapers are essential to children's health just as much as food and shelter, but the WIC and SNAP programs, they don't recognize the need for diapers. So Diaper Depot helps provide, collect, and distribute the diapers to the low-income families that are in need. And our junior board efforts, both fundraising and volunteer, will be focused on supporting Diaper Depot in the new year.
That's a phenomenal new service project for Cook County. And just to elaborate a little bit, there is a diaper depot in our Lake County, Round Lake, the Schreiber Center for Human Services, a very active, effective diaper depot that works in collaboration with parishes and other shelters, really offering opportunities for people to donate and then people to receive the diapers as needed. And so just to clarify, you guys are then, one of your main goals is to start just as an effective diaper depot for our Cook County parishes, our Cook County shelters and service and regional offices, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That is our forward-looking goal, is to learn from the amazing success of the Round Lake and bring that to Cook County.
And as you said, you've got a wonderful example to follow, and I commend you because you're right. That is a tremendous need that I can just tell already you're going to have a wonderful impact on that. So again, going back to recent activities, I know that you held a mass and a reception at 721 North LaSalle on November 17th. Can I ask you to share a little bit about that and what your thoughts were as that event concluded? Mary Margaret?
So I might actually hand this one over to Brady because she has a good explanation of this.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'll pipe in too.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
The social chair in me is beaming because, of course, I love a good event. And of course, when it's benefiting Catholic Charities and benefiting and relaunching our junior board. So I don't know how the heck that was a month ago already. Time is just flying. But thinking back, the event commenced with a beautiful mass led by our one and only Father Wayne. And then we had a cocktail and informative hour on the top floor. So unfortunately, it was a little too cold to utilize the rooftop deck, but the warmth truly was felt by the 60 prospective and existing members of the junior board, our former and our future friends. The purpose of the event was to reunite the existing members, meet new members, as well as reintroduce the junior board, its leadership, and our vision. So we introduced a number of existing opportunities that are on the horizon and included just a brief of our relationship and partnership with Diaper Depot.
Yes, and I know you had a terrific attendance there, both single couples, single individuals, and as well as couples. We'll talk more about that, but I do echo your sentiment and your acknowledgement of Father Wayne Watts. Brady, I know that both he and Monsignor Michael Boland were instrumental in getting the junior board started probably 2 decades ago now, and both of them were hugely supportive of it through the years. So it's just really a credit to Father Wayne with his very busy schedule that he's still making this a priority, and he still wants to help you lead the next chapter for the junior board. And I agree that he's amazing, and so glad he was able to be there and celebrate Mass that night. So Mary Margaret, for people who came and wanted to learn more about the junior board, what would be involved in as they now try to establish membership with the group? What's all included in that?
Yes, definitely. Members are typically committed to the compassionate works of Catholic Charities and engaging in effective community action in one or more of 3 ways, typically like volunteer service, social events and fundraising, and theological exploration. So membership is open to all, regardless of religious affiliation, race, ethnicity, so on. And we welcome whatever time people are able to give. Members are truly able to carve out their own path, which I've always thought is pretty cool, based on their preferences and their time commitments.
Well, it's really an inspiring thing you guys have inherited, but now I can see that you've got great ideas for the future too. So if you'll please stay with us, we're going to take a break on the Voice of Charity, and when we return, we're going to continue our conversation with Brady Dearlove and Mary Margaret Parker, new co-presidents of Catholic Charities Junior Board. Please stay tuned.
Catholic Charities' 75th Annual Celebration of Giving is underway in support of those who are struggling to make ends meet every day. Individuals, families, colleagues, neighbors, parishioners, and friends purchase thousands of gifts and basic necessities to ensure Catholic Charities' clients and their families have a joyful Christmas morning. There are many ways to get involved, including online wish lists that make giving easier than ever before. If you can join us in this special Chicago Christmas tradition as volunteers and donors, please email us at cog@catholiccharities.net. That's cog@catholiccharities.net. Or call 312-655-7401 in Cook County and 847-782-4210 in Lake County. Thank you for helping us spread Christmas cheer this year throughout Cook and Lake counties.
People always say, how can you spend your day with 3-year-olds? Seeing the changes that they go through and just the journey and how they grow, this is a very rewarding job. Even though at the end of the day, we're not the highest paid people on earth. And when I have a parent contact me and say, my child loves school, that to me, I'm setting that foundation for their love of learning. Because really, you are changing lives, you are molding lives.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Catholic Charities has had the privilege of helping people in need in Cook and Lake County for more than 100 years. We would like to take this opportunity to thank our frontline workers who, despite the unprecedented challenges of the past 2 years, continue to excel at their jobs every day. From the warehouse staff members who pack boxes of nutritious foods for low-income seniors, to the dedicated WIC employees who have remained open for families with children under the age of 5, to our volunteers and restaurant partners who ensure that meals are available for those experiencing hunger, to our service coordinators and our professional counselors who continue their vital work in innovative ways, to our food pantry staff, and to all those who work at Catholic Charities Call Center, finding solutions for every person who reaches out to us for help. Charity is at the heart of all you do, and we salute you. Welcome back to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Breedeman, and I'm so delighted to be here today with Brady Dearlove and Mary Margaret Parker, Catholic Charities Junior Board co-presidents. And they're telling us about all the exciting things that are going on with the Junior Board, and just having completed a wonderful Mass and reception at 721 North LaSalle last month. And Mary Margaret, right before the break, we were talking about membership with the Junior Board. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that and tell us what are the requirements for membership with the Junior Board, and how can people reach out and join the club?
Absolutely. So we actually welcome all young adults or those who are young at heart. So we have it's open to quite a few amount of people, and regardless of religious affiliation, race, ethnicity, so on. But we plan to share more information in terms of membership during the enrollment period at the beginning of 2023. But for the most part, all are welcome.
Fantastic. And Brady, we talked a little bit about how this isn't just about a young singles group. You actually also have couples with or without children who are very busy, like you and Mary Margaret are, but they know the importance of this work and want to stay involved in some way. Can you share, ways that people might be able to be involved without a huge amount of time commitment, because it's so precious to people today?
Absolutely. And that's one of the differentiators with Catholic Charities is we have a group of different people from different backgrounds, different lifestyles, different relationship statuses, and from different areas. And we completely understand that life entails a lot. And a lot of times that's kids, that's family. We hope that is what life entails for our members. So we understand if life gets busy and you can't be as involved as you have wanted to be in the past, and you want to come back and re-engage with Catholic Charities, we are totally arms open and welcoming to that situation. We also are going to unveil and communicate different service opportunities in the new year as well, where it'll be on a cadence where if you can make it, great. And if you can't one month, we understand that too. So no matter the family situation, relationship status, this is a great way to get together and serve those in need when you can and when it makes sense for you and your family.
That's an incredibly inviting way to put it, Brady. Beautifully done. Mary Margaret, and I ask you to share some of the events that are planned for the Junior Board in 2023?
We're so excited, but save the date for 2 exciting events in February. We're excited to participate in 2 Catholic Charities signature events, the Divine Affair on Sunday, February 5th, and First Look for Charity with the Chicago Auto Show on Friday, February 10th. So the Divine Affair is one of the Chicagoland's premier wine tasting events, and it raises funds for Catholic Charities programming in Cook and Lake counties. And then First Look for Charity is a special preview event prior to the public opening of the Chicago Auto Show. And proceeds from this event support Catholic Charities, and they also support select nonprofits in the Chicago area. But we'll have some special opportunities for Junior Board members to attend these events together. And then also in the new year, we'll have more information for regarding additional events. So stay tuned.
Those are fabulous events to gather as the Junior Board. I've had the great fortune of attending both of those, and they really are such fabulous, fun events, but also incredibly impactful at Catholic Charities. So that's awesome that you're going to have a special invitation to Junior Board members to attend those. And then, Brady, I know we talked about the Diaper Depot as being one of your main service projects in 2023. Will there still be opportunities for other service projects like, volunteering at our food pantries, or what else do you suggest?
Absolutely. And we are so excited to sprinkle in those events as well. As you mentioned, we are primarily focusing on our Diaper Depot efforts in the future, but we realize the impact that we can make together on a regular cadence at food pantries, at the supper on a weekly basis. So we are ironing out those details and once again communicating that in the new year.
So it's really going to be wonderful to see all that roll out right after Christmas. Mary Margaret, you mentioned earlier in the show that this has been a wonderful, exciting year at Catholic Charities as our regional mission boards have been established, and as we have recognized that we can all have a greater impact on the local parish level. Can I ask, from your perspective, how do you see the Junior Board interacting with those regional mission boards and supporting the efforts of assisting clients on that local parish level?
Yes, we're definitely very excited to collaborate with the regional mission boards. The local parishes have been incredibly supportive of the Catholic Charities Junior Board in the past, and they continue to do so. They're fantastic partners, especially with our membership and our service efforts. Even prior to the pandemic, the Junior Board hosted a faith-focused opportunity where a group of members would attend Mass together at a different parish each month, and then they would follow that with a brunch together. So the sky is the limit. We've really enjoyed our collaborations in the past and continue to look forward to furthering our relationships with the parishes moving forward. So more to come on this soon.
Well, that's going to offer wonderful additional energy from your dynamic group. I know that you also have gone to a great trouble to do extensive outreach. We have so many wonderful schools, colleges, universities, graduate schools, medical schools, law schools in Chicago. And I know you're doing an extensive outreach to all of those young adults as well. Can I ask you both how that's going? Brady, may I start with you?
It's going wonderfully. As Mary Margaret said, parishes have been our primary focus initially, just because we already have had connections and relationships with them. But Katie, as you said, we are so fortunate to be in a city where we have all of these different colleges, universities, young, youthful people who are passionate and looking for that purpose. So we cannot wait to scratch the surface and reach out to these universities, reach out to these schools and programs, and extend our reach, expand our reach to those areas as well.
Absolutely. And Mary Margaret, I know you've been involved in that outreach as well. What have been your observations so far?
Well, first, a huge thank you to you, Katie, because I know you've done a ton on this with insight and just guidance and everything. So thank you. But yeah, no, it's been so amazing to see people have been incredibly welcoming and inclusive in helping our efforts. So it was definitely very visible with our relaunch event, with the Mass and reception. So we were very lucky to see some new faces in addition to our regular established members as well. So it's cool to see that continue in addition to strengthening our connections with the local parishes.
Well, totally my honor to help in any way I can, and that goes for going forward as well. As I said, you guys are offering wonderful energy and excitement across Catholic Charities, and we all want to be here to support you. In the short time we have left, can I ask you each to share a story or two about a client or a staff member or a volunteer experience that you've had in your involvement with Catholic Charities that really made you feel proud and excited to be part of our mission? Brady, may I start with you?
Of course. Well, first, I will say Noreen Russo. I'm sure many of us know who she is. And if not, you need to meet her because she is amazing and wears so many hats that my head and many of ours would never be able to fit into. But also, and more recently, during the pandemic, I would run over to the corner CVS for everything from milk to masks. But during my necessity runs, I would run into a gentleman named Derek. And Derek was homeless. And instead of asking if you could help him, always, he was saying, "God bless," with a smile. And it just filled you and everyone passing by with more love and wealth than any stranger or paycheck ever had. And through our daily encounters, I learned that Derek was a man who had been dealt a tough go, much of it out of his control. But unprompted, Derek said that who kept him fed and positive about his future is Catholic Charities. Right then and there, my heart burst on the sidewalk because it just showed that we are helping and serving the most amazing and resilient people of Chicago.
What a lovely story. Thank you so much, Brady. Anything else to add or share to that, Mary Margaret?
I guess it's a really tricky question because everything is so rewarding. There's almost too many stories and just countless amazing clients, staff members, and volunteers as well. But one thing that always made an impact on me related to volunteering with the children of Madonna House and House of Good Shepherd during the annual Christmas celebration. We would sing carols with the families as we waited for Santa to arrive, and we would read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And the excitement and anticipation of the children when Santa arrived with presents was just so palpable and rewarding. It's something I will never forget, and just something so exciting.
Well, that's quite a powerful story, too. There's nothing like the smiles on a child's face to make you want to join in and help give that smile to that child, right? And it sounds like you were really instrumental in that, Mary Margaret. I also agree with you, Brady, that any discussion of the junior board isn't complete without a nod to Noreen Russo, who's been so dedicated to it for a number of years. And so you're right. She's a great role model, great example to follow as you guys head into 2023 with these wonderful new plans to just elevate the junior board to even new heights. So I just, before we wrap up, can I just ask you each to share a little something about what you'd say to anybody listening or watching today's show about why they might consider joining the junior board? Brady, may I start with you?
Of course. This is an opportunity to meet people who are passionate about giving back in the city that we love so much, but we recognize that there is a lot of need. Not only will you be giving back, but you're going to have the opportunity to meet young professionals, people that will be your forever friends. So we look forward to anyone and everyone that is interested in joining us in our mission, and we cannot wait to meet you.
Anything else to add to that, Mary Margaret?
Yes, definitely going off of what Brady said. Participating in Catholic Charities Junior Board has definitely been one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had. And two aspects kind of stand out to me: the volunteer opportunities and the members. The ability to tangibly give back through volunteer opportunities, which also happens to align with the works of mercy, is just so incredibly rewarding. Participants have the ability to tangibly make a difference in each activity, whether it's volunteer, social, or faith-based. And then the members, the junior board members, are just truly one of a kind, inspiring and welcoming. I went into my first event not knowing anyone, and I've made so many lifelong friends along the way. So definitely join. It's worth it.
And anyone interested in learning more can email juniorboard@catholiccharities.net. And Brady and Mary Margaret will follow up with you to give you more information. Is there a phone number that people can call also, Brady? Is Junior Board, is that email the best way?
The email is the best way, just to keep it streamlined and ensure that we are getting back to you.
Wonderful. Again, that email is juniorboard@catholiccharities.net. And we thank you both so much for being on the show today. As I said, we're all here to support you and hope you'll come back on the show and give us another update in the new year.
Can't wait. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Brady. Thank you, Mary Margaret. Merry Christmas to you both.
Merry Christmas.
And we invite all of you back again next week for another edition of The Voice of Charity. For now, this is Katie Breedeman, and we thank you for tuning in and believing in the mission of Catholic Charities.